As Austin Matthews sits, Mitch Marner's stock continues to soar. The Leafs have won 7 of 8 games since Matthews has been out. Marner's had multi-point games in all 7 of the wins. So, what does this mean? To talk about that, here's Cheryl Pounder. Cheryl, on a scale of 1 to 10, how critical is it for the Leafs to stop waiting and get Mitch Marner signed and extended right now?
Oh, Gino, you're tough. You're asking the tough ones today, aren't you? When I look at this and I have to give it a number, I'm going to say a 6, maybe a 7. This is not an 8, 9, 10 for me. And that's tough to say because you know what Mitch Marner is. I mean, he's one of the best players in the NHL. You look at his gifted offensive instincts, the way he skates, his vision, all of that, his underlying defensive metrics. But for me, it's all about the playoff time right now. And it's been deja vu year over year for this core. You've got William Nylander, you've got Matthews. They're all under contract. So if this team doesn't find a way in playoffs to do it, you're going to have to break up this core. And so Mitch Marner and his signing, I think that he has to be measured by his playoff. And so this is not order of priority. We have to be having the conversation, certainly because of the player that he is. But I think as management, you have to be bold in this. You know, you got to find a way to turn the tide here. So I'm waiting to see it from Mitch Marner in the playoffs.
Are you not worried at all, though, that if Marner gets to the playoffs, then are you ushering him to unrestricted free agency? He can go wherever he wants. Or is your lack of concern because everybody seems to think that Marner doesn't want to play anywhere other than Toronto?
Well, I think this is the gamble that you take sometimes. And when I mentioned being bold, sometimes you got to go off the charts to do it. And you can pay the piper now, or you can find a way and see if he can execute and get it done in the playoffs. And listen, if he's getting it done in the playoffs, this team is likely winning. If this team is likely winning, then Mitch Marner is likely re-signing an extension. So when the way I look at it is success will breed it. Success will tell the story here. And so I'm waiting. I am waiting on it. And yes, you run the risk of watching him walk and you have more money. Maybe you find someone else, because if it doesn't happen, then you have to look differently. You have to look at this group with a different lens.
All right, let's look at it now. Matthews and Marner love playing together. They've been hugely successful when they do. But now that Marner has proven he can drive an offense on a line without Matthews, when the captain does come back, do you even consider splitting the two of them up so they can each run their own line?
Oh, I am splitting them up to start when they come back. I mean, you look at the way that John Tavares is playing alongside Mitch Marner. You see, I look in sort of tandems and combinations, and those two are certainly playing well together. And Mitch Marner is driving offense, right? He's looking to the net. He's not looking for Austin Matthews. But I think you need a 1, 2, and even a 3 punch if you're going to be successful in the playoffs, right? It's not going to be about 2 lines. It's going to be about 3. You got to be able to jump the boards and know that you have players that can drive the attack. You know that Austin Matthews can drive his own line. You know that you can put Matthews and Marner back together and they're going to find some chemistry. Right now, I would separate them, see what you have with them apart.
All right. Next up for Marner and the Leafs, the Panthers on Wednesday. By the way, Marner, 35 points in 26 career regular season games against Florida.